What is up, everyone? So, the daily struggle of how much things can we get done in one day to make an interesting video, right? Because no one likes a video where nothing gets done unless we're just goofing around the whole time, right?
Right.
So I realized we've actually accumulated quite a few parts for the RB, which means today we could actually do a couple mods to my RB25. The engine I bought for what, Donald?
The R33.
If you guys don't remember, I picked up my first RB25. It's just a series one. I got it from Tommy F. Yet out of his GTST. Has like 40,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful engine. And well, there's a couple of things I want to do to it before we actually put it into the car. And well, a couple pieces showed up.
Is that a Japanese box?
Nope. Chinese. All right, boys, not to spoil any surprises, but I'm gonna show you what we got for this thing, right? Keeping it simple. By keeping it simple, only thing I'm gonna change big on the engine is the turbo and the intake manifolds. That's fair, right?
Very fair.
I'm actually really pumped on these two pieces. I mean, not too much this thing, but on this thing right here. So this is basically the same turbo that Tommy used for his R32 four-door. It's basically a stock RB25 Neo turbo that a company machines out the factory housings as big as it can go and shoves like this beautiful billet dual ball bearing core in it. And these things are capable of making over 400 horsepower.
Which is sick.
This turbo, isn't that insane?
That's pretty wild.
And I love the way it responds on his car, so I copied him. So Tommy, thank you for the idea. But this is from Spectrum Motorsports, I believe. They're not a sponsor, but it was a really good deal, and it's a really good product. So it also comes with lines and everything. It was like a really, really good deal.
Cheap.
So, cheap, well, in
Very
terms
affordable.
of turbos, very cheap. So this will mount just like a factory turbo. It'll look like a factory turbo, it'll be factory manifold, but it will make all the jam with an awesome power band. So this is the cheat code right here. I couldn't not do that, come on. And then we got my Freddy manifold. So RB25s, right? They come with this wrap over intake, this intake right here that just kind of goes over everything, and it uses like these two pipes, and it's kind of ugly.
Can't do that.
You can't do that. RB25s are a beautiful engine, only when you put a forward-facing intake on it. I was like, oh, like, do I change the intake, right? That changes a lot of things. You gotta. It's my first RB25.
Gotta see that valve cover.
Dude, they look so more just cooler with a forward-facing intake. So right here, I got myself a Greddy intake, but not Greddy.
F instead of G.
It's Freddy.
Not stoked. Like,
Not
look at that face.
This is a forward-facing intake. It's modeled after the Greddy intake, and trust me, I wanted a real Greddy so freaking bad, but I couldn't find one used, and new, they're like
A G.
they're like $1,200 new, and I wasn't about to spend that. So I've seen a lot of people get away with using the Freddy ones, which I really don't like doing. This one ended up showing up and being a little bit crustier than I'd like.
A little rough around the edges.
The casting and all this boo shit right here. So,
boogers.
I mean, it's not the cleanest of casting. The finish is kind of ugly. I mean, I'm not pumped about buying a fake piece, right? But you gotta do what you gotta do. So my goal is to clean up this casting and try and make this thing a lot more presentable. So we're gonna make this Freddy not be so dready of a purchase. No, I can't say that. All right, Donnie, we gotta get to work. Manifolds are both coming off. The turbo, the manifold, the intake, all the wiring, all that's gotta come off, all right? We're putting you to work today.
Easy.
So this thing's actually extremely clean, so it should come apart pretty easily, so well, let's get to it.
I think I'm gonna take the turbo side.
Okay, it's all you. All right, boys, we're masked up. It's a pain in the ass. I hate taping engine blocks. I got that engine enamel black, and I usually am not much of a guy for like, you know, AutoZone ass spray things, but for some reason this stuff works really well. As long as you degrease your surface and have a really good clean surface, if it sticks, it stays, and it looks pretty good. So can't beat that, right, Donnie?
Right.
Don't be lazy. Clean your shit.
Clean it. Yeah, don't be painting over grease.
Yeah,
and
don't be
stuff.
painting over grease. Stuff smells sweet.
I can't smell nothing.
All right. Do you think it's gonna make everything else look worse? Or do you think it's gonna look good? That's what I'm worried about, right?
it's
You
gonna
paint
look
one thing
good,
and then it
yeah.
makes the other stuff that used to look clean
Stick
now
out.
look like crap. So you paint that and the stuff that used to be next to that used to look good now looks like even more crap.
It's gonna be great, James. For you,
It's gonna be great. Couple coats later, this thing's looking pretty damn good, so I can't complain about that. But while that dries, we gotta deal with the manifold. So check this thing out, right? Factory manifold, it's pretty freaking ugly looking, but it works really well. It fits really good. And well, we're gonna clean it up, throw some high temp black on it, throw it back on, and be happy. What happened to this can, but boys, help me do the honors.
What are we doing?
We get to take it off?
Yeah.
Wait, you still have to be a little careful.
No, you know, we're good.
A lot of tape.
How beautiful!
Just makes the valve covers look so stank.
I know. What are you gonna do about that? Alumablast.
Coming on to my next question, what color should we paint the valve covers, right? I feel like everyone who has an RB and a 240 feels the need to make their valve covers like some crazy color. And no, I'm not getting RB26 covers. I know it's probably been common already, but this stuff is just so expensive. What?
There's only one answer all the time. What color are your brake calipers? That's the only thing you can do.
That's a really good idea.
I know.
RB26 valve covers, the whole kit is like $1,200, like minimal. For something, just to make it look like something else.
Donald, he doesn't need that.
$1,200 well spent.
Donald, all that money you're spending, your car's still sitting on the ground not moving.
Spent. Well, it could drive, Sammy.
Yeah, how much was that HKS bell that you waited 3 months for?
Yeah, how'd that go? Just because it has
Let's
a
not
name
talk
on it.
about that. But it looks good, Sammy.
It does look good, but it don't look good rolling because it don't roll.
All right, so I cleaned the front cover, I cleaned the valve covers, I threw the manifold on, and it honestly looks way nicer than I thought it would. Like, way nicer. Check it out. Like, I can't stop looking at it. Like, I knew it would clean up really nice, but man, this thing looks like a brand new motor. Look how nice the manifold looks. Like, this used to be the ugliest stock manifold ever, but now that it's painted, it actually is quite good looking. Like, it hugs the head really nice. Seems very fitting. So, but now that the manifold is on, we can get the turbo on. And well, Spectrum Motorsports, right? They took this Neo Turbo and they shoved this giant core inside of it. They also added on a new internal wastegate, which is really nice. They set this to whatever spring pressure I requested. I told them 12 PSI so we could start nice and low. They added a new swing arm, they added a new bracket, everything, right? They painted the exhaust side, and they also added fittings to the entire core. So the AN fittings all around. And on top of that, like, this isn't a sponsored video, I'm just like really impressed. They gave me all new lines with the kit. So we have 2 water lines right here, right? AN fittings on both sides. We got the heat wrap on them. What are you laughing about that? What's so funny?
No, I'm not laughing at I'm not laughing.
What are you laughing? Are your ear pods on right now?
No. It has nothing to do with it.
Okay. Then we have the new oil feed, which is really nice. And oil resistant line, barb fitting for the block. And then the high pressure oil, which is dope because he used the black stainless, which is kind of hot. So, all right, these OEM like washers right here that prevent the nuts from backing off. Biggest cheat code.
That's your insurance right there.
Yeah, that's your insurance. They will back off. That's Donnie. You know what? Like, I've talked a lot of smack about RBs in my day, but they do sound freaking good.
Yeah.
And no one can like.
No one can
You could
deny that.
You could hate RBs with your life, but you have to.
They got that note.
But they got that note. All right, I had to put the camera down because my hands were filled, but it's all tidied up. And I know I keep saying it, but this looks so freaking good. Like, it has that OEM beautiful look on the outside, but it still looks like this thing's gonna make some power. So the lines look amazing. This one wraps around the head, of course, to go to some water lines underneath the intake manifold. But besides that, it all fits. It fits so freaking well. Like, I'm honestly really happy with this kit. So shout out to Spectrum Motorsports because they make a cool kit. So besides that, I'm like one gritty intake away from making this thing look really badass. And I know I said it before, but man, this thing's like, even for eBay, it's super bad. Like, there's a lot of pitting in it. Like there, it looks like there's runs in it, and this thing's not even painted. Usually with these eBay manifolds, you get like poor casting, right? Because someone didn't spend the time, you know, to grind it down and clean it up. But this one is just bad all around. I'm gonna try and take a carbide and like sand it out and everything, but honestly, I'm super upset about this thing. Like I'm mad at myself for even wasting my money on that, but we'll see. So to wrap it up for today, so I can go home, let's get the accessories on this thing. I just spent forever cleaning them, so let's see how she looks with some YouTube magic. And there it is. Honestly, I know I keep saying it, I can't believe this is the same engine we started with before. Like this looks beautiful. It looks so freaking good. I didn't put the compressor on just yet for the AC. I realized it's probably smarter to leave the one in the car so I don't have to drain anything, but besides that, all the accessories are there. I threw the intake on because it probably looks good on camera from like 4 feet away, but this is an RB25. It no longer looks like that RB20 looking ass engine that it did with the stock intake on. It needs the fuel system, I need the coolant lines, I need a clutch kit and an intercooler, and then it's basically ready to go in, which is super exciting. I'm no rush, but I mean, after seeing it like this, the motivation is real. So my first RB25, I'm really pumped, I'm loving this, but at this point I'm just rambling on, so I'm gonna end it here. You guys know the deal, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. Probably see you guys tomorrow.